The Texans take on the Ravens in the divisional round. When they play this matchup, are they playing with house money? Welcome into the channel. I'm Cody Stoots. Let's talk some Texans and explore the concept on if the Texans are playing with house money, why I don't love that phrase, and why somebody really important on the Texans doesn't love or think that way either. That old concept of house money that, hey, after you've already won a little bit, it doesn't matter what happens because that's not your money. That's money that you got from somewhere else. Well, here's the tough part. Once you've got that money, it's your money. House money is not something that actually exists. Once the dealer on the blackjack table hands me the money, that's my money. Now, if I want to put it back out there, I certainly can. The Texans going at this against the Ravens on Saturday. It's not house money on this one. They've got a chance, the Texans do, a real chance, an opportunity to play in their first AFC championship game ever. Look, it's not going to be easy. This is a really tough opponent in the Baltimore Ravens. They've got the MVP over there at the quarterback spot. Their defense has allowed the fewest points all season long. It's a really nasty opponent, but it's a chance for the Texans to go to the AFC championship for the first time in playoff history. It's not just house money. Oh, whatever happens, happens. And I love CJ Stroud's response when he was asked about, are the Texans playing with house money Saturday, when they play the Baltimore Ravens?
Not my thought process or our teams. We're just doing our job. We don't really pay attention to what people say. It's not up to them on what goes on the field. So it's really just up to us to go out there and do our jobs. And we believe in ourselves, and we trust in ourselves to win games and hopefully win this game. We have complete confidence in ourselves. So we're not really worried about what everybody else got to say.
Here's one of the main reasons why house money, or it's okay to have got this far, doesn't matter what happens at this point because it's a super successful season to this point. And it is. It's a super successful season for the Texans, but you want to take every opportunity. It doesn't matter how far you get in the playoffs. You want to take every opportunity like you're not going to get that opportunity next year. And I like one comment CJ Stroud made after the game on Sunday. He wanted to keep playing because this version of the Texans, this team's never going to be together again after this season. You'll have players leaving free agency. You'll have new players come in, yada, yada. But you never know when you're going to lose what you've got or when you're going to take a step back and have to readjust. So the opportunity you have in front of you, go out there and seize it. Go out there and beat the Baltimore Ravens and play either the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills for the AFC championship. And I feel like three really interesting examples come to mind when I think about you're not guaranteed to be back here next year. Look, CJ Stroud's awesome. DeMeco Ryans has been fantastic as a head coach. I'm not sure if Bobby Slowick's going to be back, but if he's back, a lot of people are going to expect the Texans to not only win the AFC South again, but be in the playoffs and then make noise in the playoffs. But it's not guaranteed. I believe the biggest example of that is a team that we just watched a few days ago in the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles were on the top of the world in the NFC, and they had some hiccups down the stretch. They didn't even win their division. They go on the road in the playoffs, and Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who won the worst division in all of football, smoked them, knocked them off their pedestal, and now Philadelphia is looking inward, and they're not sure if they've got everything going their way. They're not sure if they made the right decision at the quarterback spot, if their head coach is the right guy, so on and so forth. They were just in the Super Bowl, and now there's tons of questions about what type of team Philadelphia is. I look back at the Ravens from a couple of years ago. The Ravens, they were the number one seed in 2019. They get knocked off as the number one seed in their first playoff game. They bounce right back the next season. They're in the playoffs. They're playing again. They win their first playoff game. Then they lose. Then they're out of the playoffs. They have a tumultuous season. They don't even make the playoffs the following season. That was not a fun situation for Baltimore, and they still had Lamar Jackson. They still had John Harbaugh. They still had a lot of really good players on that team. It's not guaranteed, and I feel like this is a idea that the team has put together and something that really DeMeco Ryans either implicitly or not, has put into his team and instilled in his team that you're not guaranteed to be back here next year. His San Francisco 49ers, where he was a coach on the team, they went to the Super Bowl. They lost the Super Bowl. And you know what they did the next year? They missed the playoffs. You've got to take the opportunity that you have in front of you. And yes, I understand the Texans have achieved a great amount up to this point. They have done a really good job with this season. One of the biggest keys to this season was figuring out if they had the right head coach and they had a quarterback. Check and check. Both of those. Big check marks, big positives. They're going the right way. Find some other pillar pieces for this organization that you can start building around. Check, check, check. A bunch of different guys from the organization that are young players or veterans that you want to invest in and build around those players. But the notion that this is house money and you should just be happy with the season up to this point no matter what, I'm not buying into that. CJ Stroud's not buying into that. And that's just not the way the NFL works. I feel like some other sports maybe work that way. Basketball, with how easy it is to make the playoffs, teams can, be happy with where they are and you can sleepwalk through half a season and find yourself in the playoffs. In football, you never know when this opportunity is going to show up again. And I feel like the Eagles, Ravens, and 49ers teams that we just mentioned are probably the best examples and the best recent examples of they're right here, they're near the top, they're ready to get over the hump, and the next thing you know, they got to climb up the mountain yet again because they weren't able to seize the opportunity that was right in front of them there. The Texans have that opportunity, and I really like the mentality of this team. They're not worried about what happened the last time they played the Baltimore Ravens. They're not feeling themselves too much coming off the Browns game. This was a team that I felt like maybe would have their chest puffed out a little bit after taking care of the Browns. Oh, no, the Texans have learned how to win over the course of this season. Remember when they'd follow up a tough win or a hard win with kind of a stinker after that? Carolina, probably the best example of that. No, DeMeco Ryans and his staff and the players have done a good job developing over the course of the season, and they've learned how to win. And I like Jonathan Grenard's comment this week where he said, look, we took care of the Browns after they beat us once. The revenge tour continues, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, when they want to get theirs back from the Baltimore Ravens, where they started the season with a loss. They want to get theirs back on the Ravens. So I like the mentality. No house money. House money's a fallacy. Don't believe in it. Don't buy it. Once that dealer shoves the money across the table to you, it's your money. You don't have to put it down on the next hand, but mostly I usually do. I usually play one hand too many at the blackjack table. That's okay. That's okay. As long as you're having fun at the blackjack table. It's not okay as for football to just say as long as you're having fun. No, you got a real opportunity in front of you if you're the Houston Texans. Seize that opportunity. Play for your first AFC Championship game. And then once you're in the AFC Championship game, teams don't just luck into that. You deserve to be here. The Texans deserve to be where they are right now. They've got a tough task against the Ravens, but no house money when it comes to that game Saturday, 3:30. From Baltimore. I can't wait. So much more to get to about this game over the course of the week. Matchups that favor the Texans. Matchups that favor the Ravens. Conversations from the locker room about this matchup with Baltimore and so much more. Stay tuned to the channel here. Thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the little bell so you never miss anything when it comes to this channel. You'll know when we go live. You'll know when a new video pops up. You'll have it all covered, just like we try to cover it all here on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.